So are you one of these people who has this awesome looking PC, but the specs what you got are like these, and you dream of having this kind of GPU inside there, but your budget is limited to only 600 euros, which ain't not even half of the price of the RTX 4090. But can you build a great gaming PC without having an RTX 4090 inside there, and you're still able to run games on 1080p or even 1440p? In this series, I'll show you 3 best build ideas to make that happen and get the most out from your PC. So you have come to this another video and want to know how to build an even better PC with a low price. Only one thing I can promise about this video. This PC is going to be an absolutely price killer PC. So the last build used only new parts with a budget of 600 euro, 650 USD. But this build is going to use used and new parts and have a budget of 600 to 640 euro, or in USD 650 to 691 USD. And I promise that this PC is already one that can run games on 1440p already. Don't believe it? I'll show it to you just in a second. But before that, I want to mention one thing to you about our free help we're giving you in Technics. Just go to our TikTok or Instagram, comment on our post, or send DM and tell us about your tech problem, and we'll help you with that. And that's not all. We want you to be able to help others and put the good circulation and help others with us. And it's as easy as hitting the follow button on any of our socials and you're part of it. But now let's get into the video, shall we? So I think we should start with the CPU we're going to have in this PC. Like in the last video, we had an AMD CPU as we're having now. But not the same one, but a little better. So we need the same things again for our CPU. Low prices used, enough cores and threads, and it has to be able to run GPU, which can run games on 1440p. Now I'm introducing you to the CPU named AMD Ryzen 5 5600. Not the 5500 this time, but little better. And that little better gives us access to the world of 1440p. This CPU is perfect for this job, even if it's not using DDR5 but DDR4, which is enough for us. So if we're looking for a CPU to pick up, this one is because the price is only around 90 euro or 97 USD, which is the highest you'll probably find. Ow, and almost forgot to say, 6 cores and 12 threads. So let's go on. So because we have a CPU which is just 8% faster than the one we chose before, we still need a motherboard for that, but does it need to be better than before? Let's find out. So there is a small difference between the power usage of 5500 and 5600, so the motherboard doesn't need to have a better supply for that. But we still need one which is able to run RAM with enough MHC and has somehow a good look. That's why the motherboard is staying the same as before. So we're going to use Gigabyte A520K V2 again. This motherboard is just perfect for budget PCs, so yeah. Watch the video before this if you want to know why we chose this motherboard. But Technics, we're having a limited budget, so we must have a limited power supply also? That's not true because we still have over 600 euros in the budget, so we have space for the PSU also, but this one must be new for safety. Power supplies elapsed in use, so it's a good idea to get a new one while building a new PC because it's for safe and running PC a better option. So we need one which can run our CPU and GPU duo. I'll say that the GPU is going to be around 70% faster than the one before. Yep, you heard right. 70% faster, even if we're having the same budget as before. So that's why we chose this one from Corsair. Corsair CV650 is just perfect. This PSU has enough watts to use. It's a bronze tier, so not so high, but because our PC doesn't use 650W all the time, it doesn't have to be a better one. This PSU also has all the cables we need for the motherboard and the GPU, so that's not a problem also. So, because there isn't anything else important to say about the PSU, let's move on to the storage and the RAM. So this time, let's start with the storage, because we're giving you 2 choices to choose from when you're building the PC. HDD and SSD. As we know, 99% of the SSDs are faster nowadays, so they're more worth buying. But wait, because there are still good deals on HDDs. Now we're talking about the used ones. We found the one which was mostly selling with the low price. Now we're talking about Barracuda's 1TB HDD, which costs on average used only 20 up to 30 euros, or 21 USD up to 32 USD, which ain't bad at all. Also, there's a chance that you'll find SSD with the same price used and with the same amount of storage. And if you want to get a new SSD to HDD to your PC, it costs twice the price as this one we mentioned. But because we know that you want to get 100% out of this PC, we found a perfect SSD for you as used. And we chose the same one we used in the last video, Kingston's 1TB NV2, which is just a perfect SSD with great price performance. As used, you can find this one with half of its price, which is close to the HDD we mentioned before, as being 30 euros or 32 USD. And if you want to get it as a new one, you must pay the 60 euros that it costs. But there's enough fighting between SSDs and HDDs, so let's just move to the RAM. So RAM is very important nowadays because if we don't have enough, our PC is limited to a certain speed and we cannot get the best out of it. So that's why we need to find good used RAM. Here are our critics for them: 16 gigabytes, dual RAM, which means 8x2, and at least 3200 MHz. And because we're using Ryzen 5600 and AM4, we're using DDR4 memory. And guess what? We found DDR4 memory used like the Corsair Vengeance Dual with 30 euros and 32 USD. So if we only have to use this amount of money to get this fast RAM, we're going to stay within the budget easily. But before going to the PC case, here are our recommendations which brands used RAMs you should search for. 1. Corsair, 2. Kingston, 3. Crucial, and 4. G-Skill. But now we're going to talk about the case. And because we're looking for one which can be easily found as used, we chose this case from Colink. Colink Observator Lite is just perfect because it has all we need for the PC: stunning look, pre-installed fans, enough good airflow and ATX support. And the best part is that this case can be found easily with only 30 euros or 32 USD, which ain't bad at all if you think that some of the cases with this price range as new are terrible and the quality is just not acceptable. So because the case was found so easily, let's look at the true power behind this PC. And that is RTX 3070. Yep, you heard right. We're having a budget of 600 euros, and we're getting 3070 in our PC. Think about that. This GPU gives us power to play any game with 1080p resolution and makes its way all trot 1440p and can even run games with that resolution. But how expensive is this GPU going to be as used? Some people sell it with crazy prices as used, but you should not buy it with over 300 euros or 327 USD in 2024. So yes, you can find this GPU with 300 euros easily. And that's the price we recommend using for a few years old GPU. But why is this GPU just perfect for our PC? Because our PSU is able to run it. It has all we need for a great gaming experience and is as fast as RTX 4060 Ti and even faster in some cases. Only difference between them is the power connection and that the 4000 series uses the latest DLSS, which gives a little boost in gaming. So now we have a PC build, and the total cost with it is 620 euros or 676 USD, which ain't bad at all. And this PC is built with the normal prices of these parts, so you can get it even with lower or half the original price. But let's look at some benchmarks our GPU and CPU duo can achieve. In Forza Horizon 5 with high settings, we got 152 FPS. In Fortnite with high settings, 105 FPS. In GTA 5 with high settings, 182 FPS. And in RDR2 with epic settings, 111 FPS. So we're getting very solid numbers with this duo. And these are recorded with very high settings in the games, which proves that this PC is capable to run games even with the 1440p resolution. So here is our second build of the series, and we have one to go. If you're looking to get free tech help and more awesome content, check out our other socials from the link in bio and otherwise. See you soon.